All right, so a couple things today. I'm going to be discussing the basics of an LPOP or a listening post observation post. I'm going to start with um, how to track aircraft. So, a couple great sites to use is the FAA's website. Um, they do a pretty good job on keeping track of everything, as this is pretty much what the FAA themselves use, um, just with a few more aircraft unlocked. The other one is Flight Radar 24. Both of these are great options. They just sometimes you're not going to see all of the military and government aircraft. I've noticed that over the last week or so, there haven't been any military aircraft showing up that are coming out of military bases. Now, if they're coming out of like a private airport, that's a little bit different. But out of a military base, I haven't seen any. The other thing that we have is an SDR. So right now I'm running an RTL SDR. Um, it and this software is SDR++. You can listen to pretty much anything on the radio spectrum if you have the right antenna and the right decoders on your computer to handle it. SDR++ is great out of the box, but if you add a couple of other things to it that I might get into in another video, they you can decode DMR and stuff like that. Um, if you're wanting to set one of these up yourself, make sure that your gain is set above 0. Otherwise, you won't ever get anything. And make sure your squelch is turned up a little bit. That way you can actually hear what's being said. Another thing to keep in mind whenever you're working with SDRs in general, they don't automatically download drivers for themselves. So you'll need to download another piece of software called Zadig. That's Zadig. And it's just a driver compiler. Um, so what's the point in all this? You might be asking. If we say we see a, I don't know, the this aircraft from SkyWest, and it's just making circles right here all day for 8 hours straight, for example. That would be really suspicious. Um, so there's two different acronyms that are important to remember: salute and LACE. Salute stands for size, activity, location, unit, time, and equipment. LACE stands for liquids, ammo, casualties, and equipment. Salute is a more all-encompassing one and usually more precise, so that's the one I like to go with, and that's the one I was taught to go with. Size. What for aircraft, for example, how many people is it capable of holding? What is the diameter of the flight pattern? Um, what, eh, how many, what's the altitude it's flying at, etc. Let's say you see a bunch of vehicles. Well, how many vehicles are we talking about? Um, how many people can those vehicles hold? Etc. Activity. If a aircraft again. If an aircraft is just flying a normal pattern, that's not abnormal at all. So why even worry about it? Normally, um, on the counter to that, maybe it's a drone flying over where a protest is happening or where a rally is taking place, and they're using that aircraft to surveil on people. That if you have the right equipment set up, you may or may not be able to see that aircraft making those rounds, as long as they're following the law and have a transponder set up. That's the thing is, government doesn't always have to have a transponder set up. In terms of vehicles and people, what are they doing? Um, are they headed a certain direction? Are they um, a, are they right on top of each other, or are they spread out? So on. Location. Your location can be given in military grid reference, GPS, or just across the street. Um, any of those will work really well, and um, if people need to know where it's occurring at, um, and they know how to translate that information, it'll be super easy for them to understand what you're saying. Unit gets back to the size again. How many people? Um, but this is even more precise than that. What type of people? Are there medical professionals? Are there comms professionals? Are they all just a bunch of people carrying riot shields and tear gas guns and marching towards an intersection, etc.? Time. Exactly when did this happen? Generally, best to do this in military time. So that's instead of 1 p.m., 1300 hours, um, instead of 2 p.m., 1400, so on. Whether or not you do that in your local time or Zulu really depends on whether or not you're relaying this information to other people that are in other parts of the world or country. Um, Equipment. Again, uh, are they carrying medical gear? Are they using MRADs? Are they is there high-end cameras being carried around with telescopic um, lenses? Um, are they just carrying pepper ball guns, or are they carrying um, rifles as well? Um, all of those effect play into it. Lace, on the other hand, so liquids. Um, the lace is more of a long-term intelligence gathering acronym. So liquids, um, water, gasoline, diesel, um, even liquids like milk and stuff like that. What do they have access to? Ammo. That's tear gas, pepper balls, rifle and pistol ammo, um, and hopefully not with anything that we are dealing with here, but also just general munitions, rockets, missiles, etc. Um, keep track of what all you can see in terms of those things. Casualties. Um, if you see someone get hurt or um, um, injured or worse, document how many people it happened to, what their response was, all that. and then equipment again. Same as the salute equipment, and just make sure you're documenting exactly what you see. So we have um, a lot of these different tools at our disposal. Um, it's really important to keep these things documented, not just, um, oh, this happened. I don't know when it happened exactly, blah, blah, blah. If we're trying to make actionable intelligence, it is important to document. Thank you.